So that was such an easy and relaxing sequence, but why is it so much more powerful than, if I were sitting in a chair trying to do deep breathing?
Well, the obvious reason is because when you're lying down on the Parasetter, you don't have the impact of gravity, so there's no compression on your spine.
Right.
And then the design of the Parasetter is such that the spinous process is housed in the center. The ribs are supported on the convex rollers. The apex is to about 2.5 inches apart, so the scapulas lie freely, and therefore it helps you breathe better because the spine floats. You're more comfortable, so you're enjoying it more. You're breathing better.
Well, for me, though, that is the best part, but this is really the icing on the cake. This curve here, it just allows my upper body to lengthen and relax.
Sure, the curve is great and it's essential, but what's even more impressive is that you can move this headpiece. You can put it under your neck or in the middle of your cervical, where a lot of dancers like it because they have flat spines. You can put it under your occiput, which I know is where you like it because you like that tractioning effect. And then it's also there for people who have a forward head so that they can lie comfortably.
So let's define it. Parasetter, we chose the name because it resets the parasympathetic nervous system.
Well, the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system have a goal of restoring homeostasis in our internal physiologic environment. And in our very modern, hectic lifestyle, the sympathetic nervous system releases cortisol, which sticks around for too long, and we have too much of it. And the parasympathetic nervous system needs to be reset, and breathing is the best way to do this.
Well, cortisol, though, is something that nobody even knew about, and we thought it was calories in, calories out, right? But the fact is that now we're talking about it all the time. Jillian Michaels yesterday published an extensive article on cortisol and weight gain. So, what's this about?
Well, cortisol is a necessary hormone that gives us energy when we're running a marathon or running away from a threatening situation. But when we're getting it too much, too fast in our very hectic lifestyle, this cortisol makes the blood glucose increase. And on top of that, it blocks insulin. So you have reduction of insulin, too much blood sugar. So the cells aren't getting this sugar, and they're sending a message to the brain saying, feed me, and so people overeat.
Oh, so it's so complicated. I mean, so many more things, and, we thought obviously it was a simple equation, but the solution is simple. It's focused breathing.
Yes, the solution is very simple, and I think we should thank Dr. Herbert Benson for his conclusive proof that focused breathing reduces blood pressure, reduces heart rate, and reduces cortisol overload. He did this study in the 60s at Harvard, if you remember that famous book in the 70s called Relaxation Response.
Right. I bought the book, millions, it was a bestseller, but I have to admit that I didn't do it. It seems simple, but it wasn't so simple.
Well, the protocol was twice a day, 20 minutes of sitting, and I think most people just didn't do it because they didn't know if they were actually deep breathing. So that, wondering if I've got it right, that produced more tension.
Right. And that's why we have the rib wrap, really, because then you don't have to wonder.
Right, lying down on the Parasetter, remember the lungs are in your back as well. You're getting that three-dimensional feedback. Plus the rib wrap envelops you from the back to the front, so that you can really get that wonderful tactile physical experience of inhalation and exhalation.
And of course, breathing is even more in the news besides cortisol because of tech life. And they did that study, remember it was all through the media. Every time we go to check our phone, it could be hundreds of times a day, and because we're anticipating an email or a text or whatever, they find that we hold our breath. So we're holding our breath, and then we don't breathe very deeply ever. So it's a really bad combination. So.
It is. And the other thing to remember too is that when we do this thoracic three-dimensional breathing, our diaphragm, the inner muscle of breathing, actually can go its full excursion, and therefore the stability and strength of our inner core is enhanced, plus the circulation is improved, so the fascia and the organs all have more fluidity and movement.
So, of course, we both remember when people did breathe, they didn't hold their breath, they breathed through very nice inhalation and exhalation. It was relaxing, and everyone enjoyed it. It was sexy. And that was another C, cigarettes, but so we have to get back to breathing, but without the smoke.
Absolutely.